Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the VirtualLight broadcast. We've been having a couple of glitches here today. We're not sure if it has to do with the hurricane or not. I'd love to blame it on that, but I think it's probably something else that we're working with. You may be aware we sent an email out yesterday, our weekly newsletter that we send out with the thought of the week and all the other announcements and so forth, had a link for today's show. And we've heard from several people that the link did not work. Well, the reason the link didn't work is when we sent it out, we had so many people hit the server, our internet server went down. We were able to bring it back pretty quick, and of course it's functioning now, but now we have a little challenge with YouTube, so it just looks like it's one of those days. As Sandy Sedgbeer would say, we'll have to check and see if Mercury's in retrograde. So either way. Anyway, welcome today. We are here. If you haven't seen it live, you'll be able to watch this pre-recorded, of course, because it is being recorded, and it'll be available on the website as well as YouTube as soon as we finish here today. So welcome. We do have a lot going on. I want to take just a minute and talk about Helena. Hurricane Helena is hitting the southern coast of Florida, the inner part of Florida, and traveling up through Georgia, through several different states, even Tennessee, and really causing some severe damage. And we don't take time and talk about each one of these. These are just for the United States. We are an international organization. We are going to start returning to the global light, which is where we come together to actually work on these things together. But for just a moment, we'd like to focus on Helena. Helena has knocked out over 2 million people currently without power and really caused some severe damage. We're not quite even sure how much damage was there. But we have several people that are in our inner circle that are affected by this. So I just wanted to take a moment and tell people about that and just send a little energy toward them. Many of you are not aware of Veronique. Veronique is just a beautiful soul that's been working with us for probably 15 years, working to help us edit the beacons of light as it goes out and really work with us to kind of clean up some of the wording that we use sometimes. She's just an excellent, beautiful soul. She's right in the middle of Florida and hopefully isn't hit as hard. We do have some family. Personally, I have family in Florida, in different parts of Florida. I think, again, they might be okay, but yet they're definitely being affected by this in many different ways. On top of that, as the hurricane goes further north, it's hit Georgia pretty hard. In Georgia, we have two people that are very much a part of the staff. Gail Harris has been a producer of this broadcast for many years and really helps in a lot of different ways. I actually interviewed her recently for the podcast that we're doing for the Backstory podcast. She is a death doula to be able to help people cross over. We also happen to have a birth doula on our staff, so I'm interviewing both of them for the Backstory podcast. Keep an eye out for that. You can find those podcasts, by the way, on the espavo.org site, right under the free events. We list all that, the Park Bench Project, all the other different events that we offer free of charge, including the Virtual Light broadcast, are in that spot. And the Global Light will be there as well. So everything that we do free will basically be on one page. So you can be able to get there too. On top of all of that, we have a very intricate part of our staff who's been with us for many, many years. Kathy Moran has just moved down there. So Kathy, many of you may know Kathy because if you've had any help desk problems, she has run the help desk for probably the last, I don't know, maybe 10 years. Been with us for quite some time, right in the midst of it. We haven't been able to reach several of them today, but I think their power is probably out, internet's probably out, so we're not going to get too excited about it, but if we can all just stop for a moment and send some energy down this way to the people that were affected by this, it can mean the world to all of us. And Kathy, if you're out there, we'd love to hear from you if you're getting this. So anyway, the staff is all very concerned about it. So obviously we come together on a regular basis with this. Okay, so a lot of things going on. Yes, we've got challenges over in Israel. Yes, we've got everything going on. We're very close to World War III in a lot of different places. We are going to come together in the Global Light. The Global Light is where we do a free event in just 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour, and just focus on these problems and foresee a solution. In other words, plant some seeds in our own being for solutions to these problems. Not necessarily that we're going to resolve things one way or the other, but we see an end to the problems and let them resolve however they're going to resolve. That's the Global Light, and we haven't done one in quite a while because there have been so many things taking place. On top of that, personally, from my standpoint, I have been extremely busy. Working 12 to 14 hours a day many times. I had to actually cut off an extra Light Master that we did this last week. I had to basically skip it. Light Masters, we will be bringing that back, trust me. We will be bringing your extra day back. But thank you for allowing me to take that day off. We've got so many things going on here that we're trying to accomplish as well. Espavo is moving, and many of you may know that from some of the emails we've been sending out as well. We're moving to a new service altogether. The service will allow us to not only host our website, but give us a lot of tools to be able to interact with people. We have a lot of things going on, a lot of certification courses that we just haven't been able to keep up with. We haven't had the manpower to do all those things, and we haven't been able to automate them. We'll be able to automate quite a lot of these things when we get over to Kajabi. And Kajabi is what we're going to be using for those of you who might be looking for something of this nature. In fact, if you're interested in finding out about Kajabi, I will be actually putting up a link for people that I believe they actually give you a discount from my link. And we would appreciate if you go through there because that gives us a little feedback and some free events as well. So anyway, we'll be moving fairly soon. I hope to be moving over no later than November 1st and probably a little bit before that. But we've been working with that for quite some time, for about 6 months, to build a new website. We've got some wonderful people and some volunteers that are working with us in some incredible way. George in Greece, and we've got Ali on the East Coast, and we've got Levon on the East Coast. We've got some wonderful things that are people that are coming together. That brings up another situation. If you're interested in being part of this organization, we are looking for some more volunteers in several different ways. We're always looking for technical people that can help us with the websites, that can help us with artwork, with things of that nature. On top of that, we also have quite a lot going on in several other areas. One of the areas is YouTube. We're going to start focusing more on YouTube. Now, I don't mind telling you we pulled back from using YouTube quite a bit. We only use it for our free events, and we try to use it without music because the way that YouTube works, it's absolutely crazy. We get attacked all the time for music that we have actually purchased and paid for and have licenses for. And yet we get attacked all the time. Many times if we get over, and I use a lot of music, I'm going to use some today. What we're actually doing from this point forward, and many of you may know that YouTube has their own music, which is free of charge to use, but quite honestly, it's junk. Compared from what I've been able to experience, I have not found really good music that I like over there. So what's going to happen here is we're going to be using a lot of music that is donated. There's musicians that have donated their music to us. On top of that, I personally am a musician, have recorded piano music and recorded guitar music. We'll be using a lot of our own original music. If you have music that you wish to donate and allow us to use, we'll of course give you some references in the work that we do and attribution as to where we get the music from. But the idea is that if you'd like to participate in that way, we'd love to hear from you. You can get a hold of us right through the help desk. I do see all help desks that come across, and right now I'm handling a lot of the help desk myself. So anyway, with a lot of what's going on. And those of you who wrote in and to tell us that the links did not work in the email, we appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. I haven't been able to get back to you all yet this morning, but our server basically went down. And it probably went down from too much traffic at that point. We have a few things that we're working with. I really don't want to build up this server that we're currently on because we are moving to a whole different system. And if you haven't checked out Kajabi, many of you are teachers and healers in your own right, you may want to look at that. There's some incredible things there. And like I said, we do have a program where we can refer you to Kajabi. We get a little kickback for that. And on top of that, I think they give you a discount on coming in through that referral site. So I'm not sure of all the details yet. They just started that program and we just signed up for it. So anyway, we're very excited about it. For us, we have been building things over many years. We have a website over here. In another part of the world, we have a dedicated server. We've got people, Nick in Greece has been helping us run the servers and do all the crazy things we do. We have to have SSL certificates. We have to have extra security that we had to get from the outside. All of this stuff is contained in Kajabi. Much easier, much cheaper, every other aspect, and very much a very strong program that's coming out. So we're really looking forward to moving over here and being a part of it. If you'd like to find out more about Kajabi, it's kind of hard to spell too. Anyway, I'll be happy to fill you in. Like I said, watch the website because we just did sign up for their program where we can refer people, and love to have you join us here and find new energies. We hope to be, like I said, be moving before November 1st, probably sometime in between. We will send you all of you that are on our list. We will be sending you an email asking you to come in and choose a new password. We're going to move your account over, so that won't be any problem. But I believe you're going to have to choose a new password. So anyway, that'll work out pretty cool, and it's coming up pretty soon. So I'm very thankful to finally be announcing this and moving over as fast as we can. Like I said, we've been working on this for almost 6 months, and with all the productions that I do and everything else, this has been a real labor of love. But I think we're getting very close to finishing it. So we hope you enjoy it. We've arranged things slightly different. We're going to be starting a whole new section of Lightmaster. Lightmaster up to this point has simply been, you show up and whatever the group wants to present, I'll present. We're going to go back to actually doing certain days. In other words, the first day will be open. The group can bring in anything they want. And then we're going to focus another day on tools. We'll focus another day on coming together. There'll be several things that we'll be able to work with in Lightmaster. Lightmaster, for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, is our continual program. Every year you actually get an ordination certificate, which is a legal ordination. You become a minister as a result of taking 1 year or more of Lightmaster. On top of that, we have our doctoral program that we're working with that requires a minimum of 1 year of Lightmaster and several other things that we've also added to it. But we think we put some packages together that we think you'll like. Different price groups, a lot of free material, and a lot of things coming up. Like I said, it's taken a lot of work to get us to this point. If any of you'd like to help, please get in touch with me. We'll be happy to set up a Zoom and talk about things that you might want to do, see if we can fit into this organization, because we have a lot of community coming together right now. Okay, with that, we just got back from Belgium. Awesome. We did one of the first of the 2 days of the transformation seminar. A small group, but boy, we had just a great time. In live channel, we had several times for people to, quite an extended time actually, for people to ask live questions. And in those live questions, the group actually did readings for people, actually told them things about their lives, which we normally do not do in live channel. My 2-minute readings, and actually my readings that I do, are not done in live channel. This was all in live channel, and I was really excited about it. We will do it again on December 21st in Leuven, Belgium. and please come join us. You'll see the ads coming up again fairly soon. We kind of took them down because we finished this one. We're not coming back together until December, but in the beginning of November, we'll start showing you those connections again and places where you can sign up. You can always go to the website right now. Excuse me. You can always go to the website right now and just go to the store, and you'll see that event there too. So welcome everybody. Glad you're here. We've also been working, we've already done 2 days of the psychometry and divination process. It's a 3-day seminar. We've already done 2 days of it last week. You can still catch up, obviously, if you're interested in that. This is fascinating stuff for me because we're not actually teaching people how to divine things. We're showing people how it works. We're showing people things. On this 3rd day, which we're going to be doing this next week, we're going to show you all the things behind it. That's the most important part for the group. Why does this work? Why have these things been around for years? What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about divination. Here, I've got one right here. One of my favorite ones. Oh God, that thing's heavy. It's crystal ball. You ever see somebody look into it? I actually own one of these crystal balls. So how does that work? Does anybody know what a door J is? That's a door J. I thought it was a door stop. Different things that they have in different ways. All of these things work. Pendulums, crystal readings, which of course is more about psychometry than about divination. But we're going through the process. And on the 3rd day, of course, the group is going to take us into what's it all about? Why did it all work in the first place? Why has it been around for centuries on this planet? And of course, it's not provable in science because science and metaphysics are representing 2 separate areas. They overlap in a lot of areas. They validate each other in different areas, but they don't actually live in the same place. So in any event, we're really looking forward to doing day 3 coming up, and you can still, of course, get into it. The other 2 days are available for viewing on your time, and next week, not sure what day it is, but next week we'll be doing the 3rd day live, and then of course the moment these are done live, they'll be available as well. So thank you all for being with us here. We're going to be doing more with YouTube. For those of you who are very familiar with YouTube and so forth, we hope to be doing some question and answers, some different aspects to be able to start working with our YouTube channel and start building it again. Now that we've kind of resolved our music problem, we're gonna try to get back there and work a little bit in the YouTube area. One other thing very quickly, since I'm going through all of these incredible announcements, is Facebook. Many of you have heard we've been hacked in Facebook over and over and over. People have come in and taken over our Facebook, particularly the ad sections of Facebook, and run ads that were basically illegal. They did so under our name. We were able to get all of our money back. Facebook was very good about refunding our money for the false charges and being able to do that. But at the same time, they have now shut down our main Facebook page. Well, it's getting ready to shut down in about another 20 to 30 days. And they basically said that we have violated rules and we're not allowed to be there anymore. So they're going to shut that down. If you're part of the team, because we had 5,000 people in the actual connected to us, and then of course we had all the people that liked the professional page, which is all part of the same thing. That is getting ready to close down. We have opened up a new one that we just started. It is simply at Steve Rother. That is the Facebook page, Steve Rother, R-O-T-H-E-R. You can find us there. Send us a friend request and we'll get you started on that as soon as possible. That will turn into a professional page as soon as we get situated with it. We'll hook up our Instagram and all the other things that we have with that as well. Okay, now you can see why I've been so busy. Anyway, welcome everybody, and thank you all for being here today. And thank you for allowing us to have some technical glitches here today with today's broadcast. We'll figure it out, I promise. In the meantime, let me bring in Meg, who's, oh, one other quick announcement. We have an anniversary coming up. I haven't decided whether we're going to celebrate it next month or the month after, but because in December, we basically are going to be 25 years of the VirtualLight broadcast. And all the people that have been involved with us over the years, we're going to invite you back. We'd love to have you come in and make a quick recording or come in on Zoom and talk to us live, whatever the case. We'd love to have you back and be able to work with that. One person that's been with us a very long time, she's part of the staff for eons of time and now doing incredible work on her own, is Meg Adamson. She's an incredible hypnotherapist, helping people all over the world. I'm so honored to bring you once again a beautiful connection with Meg Adamson. And with that, I'll leave you be. Aspav, everyone.
2. How old are we in grade 2? Like 6, 7? The words were like bumblebee, peculiar, fascinated. I remember the words. They're still in there. So can you start to see where the perfectionist is born, right? For me personally, I am so structured in my life. I am extremely organized. I multitask well. I like things very, very organized, and my brain works quickly. And I think all of that comes from me training my nervous system from such a young age through a stress response, right? We're conditioned so unconsciously in our lives that we don't think about it. We just say, that's how I am, or that's the way that it is, right? We're conditioned so unconsciously, be the best speller, be the best athlete, be the best student, be the best in the room, get the best grade, or what? What happens if we don't? We feel like we failed. It's personal. There's something wrong with me. And if something is wrong with me or with us, then we don't feel whole, right? And for the rest of our lives, we're going in search outside of ourselves to feel whole, for this approval, this love, this accreditation, this acceptance. This becomes a pattern of trying to have outside influences meet our needs. But that's just not possible. Because if I need you to meet my needs and you need me to meet your needs, how does that ever work? And so we develop an identity. This becomes part of our identity because no matter what it is that you want, I guarantee you that once you have it, there's something else you want after that. You enjoy it, you love it, maybe you love it forever. I have certain things and pieces that every time I look at it, they make me smile. I so love how I came about it. Maybe it's a memory. I like to create those memories from things. So when I look at certain pieces, I think, oh, that was so much fun, or that was so meaningful. But we never stop wanting. We're designed to desire, right? It's not like, okay, and exhale. I spelled bumblebee correctly, and now I can just relax for the rest of my life. I'm good. I got that A in spelling, and I'm good. Life is just going to be easy now. From grade 2 on, right? I am complete. It doesn't work like that, right? We are desire-making machines, and that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. We're wired to desire things. What would it feel like to be vibrantly healthy, right? I just watched a post on Instagram from a woman. Oh, remarkable. She is 75 years old. And she is literally posting videos on Instagram of her doing backflips into a car. She'll do a handstand and then slowly bring her legs over in through the window, and then her core will pull her up and she'll slide into the car. And she looks and she waves and she puts this like really upbeat music to the background of the videos. And she's unbelievable. And she talks about how aging is, a choice. It's up to us. She's showing us that the world of aging can be joyful and we can be strong and enjoying our life, right? When I watch her, I think, I want to age like that. But what we get mixed up is desire is healthy. Desire to fix something, not so healthy, right? Desire for the experience is so healthy and fun for us. Desire to fix something because something is wrong with me and I don't feel whole, not so healthy. So how do we start to untangle all of that and make our brains believe that desire is good and any outcome is growth, not failure? How do we partner with our brains, our brilliant, brilliant brains, to make them our allies? We have to deal with that false identity that we created that we believe is true. Right? We have to stop arguing for our own limiting beliefs. And I think that looks wonderful, we say, but that lady, she probably only eats spinach and broccoli and works out all the time. I actually want to enjoy my life. We sabotage ourselves. We judge to self-sabotage. We tell stories immediately. We are master storytellers as humans. And we need to investigate that. Are your stories telling you why you can't have what you want? Or are your stories curious and hopeful, and are they open for possibilities? We need to learn that our brains take their orders from us, not the other way around, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like we have no choice in the matter, and it's just the way that it is. How often have you heard that, right? Well, what can I do about that? That's just the way the world is. That's just the way the economy is. That's just the way politics are. That's just the way our bodies age. That's my genetics. I can give you 100 examples I can fire off. We normalize feeling less than and believing we can't accomplish what we want. We normalize that in society. But it's only true what we normalize individually and collectively. It is only true because we've convinced our brains that they are. And our brains will show us the evidence to make us right over and over and over again. Because there are people thriving in this world. There are people enjoying their lives, doing what they love to do, feeling happy and grateful and extraordinary to get up and be able to do what I do every day. That is a true statement. But you have to build it. Our subconscious mind will also always keep us away from pain. So if you have a desire and you start to move towards it and you're taking little baby steps and you start to have that feeling inside like, ooh, this might be challenging. I don't know. What if I fail? What if I blow it all up? What if I mess it up? What if I can't spell bumblebee correctly? That's going to hurt. And everyone's going to know that I'm not smart enough or not good enough or not lovable and that I'm a phony. Enter self-sabotage for protection. Becomes a coping mechanism. So perfection becomes unattainable, and yet that's the desire. Protection, self-sabotage, protection at the cost of your desire, your dream, your happiness, your joy. Because what if something's wrong with me? We make it personal and we make it equate to our value, to our worth. And what do we say when that happens? What's the immediate story we start to tell? Well, I guess that just wasn't meant to be. Or I'm not feeling it. Or see, I knew it. I'll never get to have what I want. Maybe just the universe hates me right now. And we have to really investigate this because as of right now, studies are showing that almost 20% of the population has an anxiety disorder. These are, of course, only the ones that have actually been diagnosed. Studies also show that anxiety and depression are linked. Anxiety can cause physical symptoms. Anxiety disorders increase risk of health complications. And anxiety can cause anger and memory problems. Of the 20% diagnosed, 7% of that are in children between the ages of 3 and 17. Wow. So this is really interesting. Stay with me on this. Here's why. Our fears begin in infancy stages. I've been studying the work of a medical doctor recently who gave up his medical practice to only practice clinical hypnotherapy, and his body of work positions that subconscious programming begins when we're preverbal, we're nonverbal, before we've started to speak. When a baby's need isn't met, or needs aren't met, plural, maybe mom doesn't feed us on time, or baby sister got more attention, I cried and cried and cried, but nobody came to soothe me, baby experiences hurt. And then the next time it happens, baby begins to develop the expectation of hurt. Now we're starting to form patterns and programming. From the expectation of hurt, baby develops fear. So we have hurt, we have fear, and how do we cope with the fear? Baby develops anger, baby screams, baby lashes out. My needs, I need someone to come and take care of me right now. This is infancy stages, programming begins. Hurt, fear, anger. Now, what is that really telling us? In my opinion, that's telling us that we have unresolved infancy programming compounded over time. We've never dealt with it. We've created an identity from it, and we develop coping mechanisms to protect ourselves. So we project it all over every aspect of our lives, right? We sabotage relationships, we expect to get hurt, we get angry when we're triggered in order to cope, and we go in search of mothering, soothing, someone to care for us and meet our needs. We're looking outside of ourselves to still have baby's needs met. Never learning to develop healthy self-regulation and self-leadership, all at the unconscious level. So no criticism, no self-judgment here. This is what we do. This is how our brains work. And if you start to look around the world, you'll begin to see kind of like everyone's little person inside of them running their words and their body language and their emotions. Our brains are always going to find the evidence to make us right. Always. Which is why I said our brains follow instruction from us, not the other way around. So what we believe, it is going to show you the proof of. So if we're walking around believing that our needs aren't met, that we don't matter, and we expect pain, and we cope with it by becoming angry, what does the world look like? But all of this is resolvable. We can heal. We have the adult resources now to heal that past and change those unconscious beliefs. And when we do that, through clinical hypnotherapy, it's custom work. So it's specific to you and your past, and it feels natural, and it feels positive, and it's work. And we start to begin to live those new beliefs. And what do you think your brain does with that? What do you think your brain does with those new beliefs? It makes you right. It starts to find the evidence of that. Things start to change. Your brain doesn't judge you and it doesn't discern. It just carries it out. But you see, you're the one with all the power. You have to choose. You have to decide. You have to believe it. And you have to want to give up that old story. And it's hard to give up those protection mechanisms that have been there for decades. It's not easy. There are payoffs that come with that. It sounds like it's easy work, but it's work. Because those payoffs, even though they're negative ones, even though it's sabotaging you from getting what you want, it still feels like safety and it still feels like protection. So there's unraveling. There's layers and nuances that need to be addressed so that those negative payoffs can be met in healthier ways with self-regulation. And then then you are starting to partner with that innate intelligence within you that runs you, right? That innate intelligence, that wisdom that runs you when you go to sleep at night, that keeps your heart beating and your lungs expanding and contracting. And you wake up in the morning and say, well, I didn't have to tell my heart to beat all night long. You are partnering with that wisdom that sees the road ahead, that knows the plan for you, that says, come on, let's go. There is so much more here that you want. And what you believe about yourself and what I know to be true about you, because I built you. I know where you come from. I know how magnificent you are. These two things they don't align. So it's never going to come over and join you in your limiting beliefs, but it will protect you from them. It will protect you from them, and it will be hyper vigilant, and it will watch for it everywhere, and you will see the evidence everywhere. That doesn't feel like whole. But you can train it to believe a lot of other positive things about your capabilities. And as it starts to integrate that, then we don't need the same coping mechanisms. They start to fall away. And then we start to develop really healthy, vibrant lives. And it keeps showing us the evidence of that too. The mechanism works the same, but you have to choose it. You have to decide that those payoffs are not worth it for me anymore. So the question really becomes, do you want to be happy and self-led, feeling whole, or do you want to be right? And I thought that was a conversation worthy of having. So, contemplate until I see you again next month. Have a wonderful rest of your month. Be well. Be insightful. Start to remember your mind through this conversation. Your subconscious mind is always listening. It wants to engage. It wants to show you. But what we tend to do is something comes up and we immediately want to analyze it with our conscious mind, label it, and project it as something else. What if we stop doing that? What if you could have what you want? What does it mean for you to feel whole? Be well, and I'll see you next month.
Thank you, Meg. Incredible. I love the stuff that she gives us every month, little tools and fun things to work with. She does do private sessions. You can find her at megadamson.com. We'll be right back with the group in just a moment. I hope you're having a wonderful day. My day is getting better. Things are actually working for a little bit here. We've had the gremlins we've had to chase out a few times, but we're working now. So, Aspavo. We'll be right back. Greetings from home, dear ones. I am the keeper of time. I am joyed to be with you this day, sharing a little bit of your time space. The illusion of time is getting very interesting on planet Earth. And here you are, all waiting for the next aspect. So much is starting to unfold now. We tell you it's a grand time to be here. And we are overjoyed that you are here holding hands, making things work in the most beautiful ways. I am the keeper of time, for I watch the illusions that you have created of time. For you see, dear ones, time is an illusion on planet Earth. It is a human construct that you have made yourselves. Gives you a space to live in, a space to work in. And of course, you see things as a linear time frame, when in reality, it's not. You only have this very moment now. You have the past, which is a memory. You have the future, which is a potential or a hope. and you have this beautiful now moment. Very difficult to live as humans only in the now. You wish to learn from the past, you wish to project into the future, and so you make it happen in exactly that way. But it is a creation of your own. We are so honored to be with you here. Take a breath and be in the now moment right now. One thing we'd like to talk about this day, of course, this is the What Is series. We began last month talking about what is love. This month, we wish to speak about your path. You hear this spoken of all the time when you work in the area of metaphysics. The grand opportunities for all of you to be on a path. It takes away some of the freedoms that you have because it allows you to follow something when in reality you don't need a path at all. But we tell you, many of you look for the path. You look for the highest potential path to reach the most energy that you can in this experience. You look for the path of least resistance to be able to avoid challenges and simply flow through life effortlessly. Well, dear ones, that's not exactly what your spirit had planned for you, is it? In reality, many of you have specifically designed restrictions in your path for you to learn something, for you to achieve something, for you to complete something that many times you have been working a very long period over many lifetimes to work with. Here you are, feeling the light from home coming through. It's a magical aspect of light. For all of you are here right now, in this now moment. Welcome home, dear ones. Take a breath and release. Now, your spirit did have a path that you wanted to set out for yourself. Knows very well about all the aspects of being a human, getting lost in your own thoughts, getting lost in your own travels on planet Earth. But here you are now, looking for the next step. And we know it's getting confusing for many humans on planet Earth, especially those of you who are incredibly empathic, which is all of you that we are speaking to. You are the empaths that have come in with a very thin veil. Some of you have memories that sometimes cause pain, that sometimes cause you to alter your path going forward. This is entirely up to you. And furthermore, the interesting part about it is you truly have the opportunity to change your path at any moment. You know that many of you, we've spoken many times about being multidimensional. So that ultimately means you have multiple paths side by side going in different directions, making different choices, making different turns along your paths. Well, you have opportunities to bring some of those together, to start to integrate some of the challenges that you've experienced into a joyful state. Many of you have called this the fifth dimension. Well, you're in the fifth dimension. You've been in it for quite some time. The challenge about it is, of course, that you keep trying to apply the old third dimensional ways inside of the fifth dimension. You are creator beings first and foremost. Therefore, everything that you believe, you manifest inside of the fifth dimension. It's fascinating to watch from this side of the veil. And yet we know sometimes it brings you pain, sometimes it brings difficulties or challenges to many of you. Well, we are here this day to help you choose. For if at any time on planet Earth, no matter where you are, no matter what circumstances you are in, if you are unhappy with where you are at this moment, dare to choose again. It's very simple. Those choices open up new paths. Now, it doesn't mean you have to stay on that path. You may take a couple of steps on that path and decide to go in a different direction. And yet, it's the fear of change that causes many of you to stay on a path that no longer serves you, or that you stay on for other people. Now, there are commitments you make in your life. There are commitments to your family, to your children, to your loved ones, to your partners, that you love to stay together with and work in that way. Well, you can choose that if you wish, if that brings you joy. But look at it from that perspective, dear ones. For living in joy, living in a peaceful state inside of you is what the path is all about. And there are many junctions coming up ahead for you to shift past, for you to change, for you to step into your own energy, your own work, if you will. Lots of doors are going to be opening. Now, you may think that to be wonderful, and yet when many doors open at once, it is very confusing for humans. For they want to choose the right one. Well, we tell you, dear ones, you're excellent at this already. The path that you have chosen to get yourself here is nothing that you would ever rewrite. Close your eyes for just a moment. Take a deep breath. Feel the light all around you. And look at the path behind you. Where you have been, what you have come from, what you have experienced. Even if we tell you, you can change that, you can shift it, you can let go of the past, you could even go back and reroute it, you won't do it. Because it was perfect. It was exactly what you wanted as a spirit. And it evolved you into the person you are at this very moment. So yes, there are rough spots on the path. If you had only the path of least resistance, dear ones, you would be bored silly. No two ways about that. You would find it very frustrating. And as it is, you have opportunities now to create something magical because you gain from every step on the path that you take. Now, there are many times where you dig into your past, you're imprinted with things. Sometimes you place yourself into a generational line where you can pick up things from past generations. We're going to be speaking more of generational trauma and other aspects of this coming forward. We're bringing a new modality into the Keeper as we speak. You'll be working with us in the near future. And yet, it is simply a release from a commitment and a restriction that you have placed on yourselves. You are the creator beings. You are the grand beings of the highest nature of spirit, or you would not be on earth right now. Now, please understand, dear ones, it does not mean that you are better than all of your neighbors in the space. Does not mean that you are higher consciousness than many of the other games that are going on throughout the universe. But there are many, many more than most of you can count. You will start to see more of this going forward. But in order to fully see it, you must become a little more multidimensional. And that is starting to happen. This is where your timelines parallel start to cross each other and imprint each other. And you gain from a lot of that. You gain confidence, you gain energy, you gain direction. But your paths may change. And there's no right or wrong about it. You have been in places where you have been taught to set goals, to foresee the future and to see yourself in a different space. We tell you we're going to take you there as well, but we want you to be there as an emotion, not as the steps that you take. For that limits your process and it limits your spirit to guide you internally. It has so many aspects of this. What we're going to do right now is ask you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Let us lead you. Feel the light from home as it starts to enter through the top of your head. Circles all around you. Feel the beauty of the connections. that you start to feel in so many beautiful ways. Now turn around and look behind you at the path that has led you here. Yes, you will tend to bring up the negativity. You'll tend to bring up the challenges that you've experienced, the roadblocks that you had to succumb, the roadblocks that you had to move past, the mountains you had to climb, the mud puddles you had to walk through. As we've said many times, there's a secret to walking through mud puddles. Don't stop. Keep moving. For as you get to the other side, you'll find that there was a reason you did that. Become aware of the larger aspects of who you are and watch the magic start to unfold. You are grand beings that have been here many lifetimes, dear ones. It is our job to hold that mirror in front of you, not to teach you, but to help you remember who you are and that beautiful joy that you hold deep within. Breathe deep. Feel the hands on your shoulder from behind as your guides now approach you. Beautiful. Feel the love that they have for you. Feel your own third eye starting to rotate ever so slightly, picking up the spiral of the electromagnetic spectrum that brings it all together on your side of the veil. Well done, dear ones. Well done. Now we're going to ask you to envision the path ahead, but perhaps in a different way than you imagined. We're going to ask you to envision the feeling. You've just looked back on your life for just a moment. You've seen the beautiful parts, you've seen the negative parts. And we tell you, you wouldn't change a thing because it's helped you to become the spirit aspect of who you are in this moment now. And that is beautiful beyond your understanding. So pick up that same feeling and throw it into the future. And know that your path that you are creating for yourself right at this moment is allowing you to feel that same energy in the future. 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, it makes no difference. You'll have many passes where you pass and integrate with other parts of yourself. These are magical times, dear ones. Create the magic right now. And for just a moment, stop and look back from the future to today and see the incredibly beautiful path that you have managed to create for yourself. Feel it now. Let the smile come upon your face. You start to feel the magic within. Feel that joyful space that you have created yourself. Know that there are no wrong paths. Not in your past, not in your future, and certainly not at this moment now. Take a breath. And anchor this feeling deep within your own being. Swallow 3 times to bring it into your physicality in a different way. Excellent. Feel your light starting to grow and to connect with others all around you. Feel the support of the universe through the path that you have now taken and chosen for yourself. You've done well, dear ones. When you do finally decide to come home, We will greet you with open arms. We will celebrate you home like you have never celebrated before. For you are creating something very magical with the path that you are creating. For you see, dear ones, the path is not just for you. There are many in the future who will study planet Earth and the magical things that took place and the awakening. For never before has any game throughout the universe changed dimensions the way that you are doing between the third and the fifth dimension. That is magical. Yes, of course, it's causing all kinds of challenges. Yes, of course, you're seeing all sorts of separation. Yes, you're seeing all sorts of incredible advancements on one hand and difficulties on the other. Welcome home. These are all potentials for you to create the highest possibility that you have. Now, we also tell you that time is circular. Actually works in a spiral, but also travels in a rather large circle all the way around. There are cycles that take place all throughout the universe. Those cycles we see as waves. That's the beautiful part about it. You're entering a whole new cycle of humanity as you step forward. And because of that, dear ones, all eyes in the universe are on planet Earth. All those that can see are on planet Earth at this point. And in the future, your planet and your people will be studied as to how they did it, the challenges that you overcame, the difficulties that were here, that you all walked through. And in that way, dear ones, the path that lays before you is much more important than you could possibly imagine. Not just for you, but for all that is. You are endless, eternal beings of light. You are the family of light of which we have spoken. We are so proud and grateful to be in your presence. Take this time and this energy and make the most of it, knowing it's not just for you. There will be eons of time that this work will be studied. What happened here? How did this take place? What is the grand aspect of every part of it? That is the part that you'll be working with, and you will be seen. Your name will go down forever in the annals of time. Trust me, I know. For I am the keeper of time. I am the keeper of the grand illusion of time that you placed on earth. It allows you to live in an aspect that you can understand. But as you move further into the fifth dimension, you'll find that it's all about your heart energy, which is why we spoke of love before we spoke of the path. Fall in love with every step. Know that the path will be there for you at all moments, but sometimes you only create the path just before your foot hits the ground, for you are creator beings of the greatest magnitude. Enjoy this journey, dear ones. Know that even though you are projecting into the future, trying to solve problems before they happen, know that you're right on time. You made it already. And with that, we leave you for now. We touch your heart in any way that we can. We are around each and every one of you on your own. We watch and we applaud as you make those steps. Sometimes even those things that you call missteps. Sometimes when you think you've taken the wrong direction. It gives your opportunity of your spirit to grow in a whole new way. We applaud you, dear ones. Now blink your eyes open if they are still closed. Start to return into your physical being. Know that joy that you just left. Know that the path in front of you will be perfect, no matter where you go. Yes, there are some things that you would rather not go through. Yes, there are some things that are challenging. But you see, dear ones, the greatest angels that have ever lived are on this planet now. And they are also there to help each other. Look for them. Be one of them. Reach your hand out whenever you're in challenge yourself and ask for help. That alone can also set into motion a grand connection into the fifth dimension. The new world is here. You're still learning how to work with it, but your path is absolutely perfect. And with that, we leave you for now. We will be with you often to give you reminders of who you are, to hold that mirror in front of you until you can remember yourself, your true nature, and the beautiful spirits that each of you are. It's with the greatest of honor we ask you to treat each other with the highest respect. Nurture one another and open those doors at every opportunity. Play well together. It's a grand, beautiful game of hide and seek. God hiding from himself, looking for herself. Welcome home, dear ones. We are the group of 9, and we are complete. Aspavo.